Cool. Looks like we are live. What is going on, guys? Welcome to another edition of the Narik Chase channel. I'm your boy Narik Chase, and I am completely sorry that I didn't put up an episode of Character Ranker yesterday, New Year's Eve, and all. So I was just enjoying my time off work and with my girl. So I should have put like a little video explaining why. And I wanted to do one for today, but I was like, okay, kind of be consistent with what you got going. Not to mention, I was working on so many other projects. But I have come here, and I'm sorry that it's late, but we are having our casting choices episode, and in this one, we are going to be doing the casting choice for Eric Draven in the original Crow film. Now, the Crow is based on a comic book character of the same name, who was created by James O'Barr. Yeah, yeah, James O'Barr, who had this comic in 1989 of the character of the Crow, and it is basically like a spirit of vengeance. This guy ends up getting killed, and he comes back to the grave to avenge the death of him and his girlfriend. And they had a film that came out in 1994 featuring Brandon Lee as the title role. And, unfortunately, that was his last role because he did die as a result of an incident that happened in the movie. So, unfortunately, that happened. Now, there have been several sequels. There's been a television series either done or is in the making, and I think they said it was going to be doing a reboot, if not of the television series, then of course it'll be of a movie, which I personally would like to see a reboot of it. Admittedly, though, I did see The Crow not too long ago, and Madam B loves it, and she thinks it's pretty cool. I didn't. I did not like that movie. I did not like the movie, and I did not so much like Brandon Lee's performance of the character, because I think he did a decent job with the character, but just the overall movie I didn't like. But so, who are the four actors this episode that we are going to be talking about? Could be possibly the next Crow, which I would actually go for. Um, First, we have Robert Pattinson, James Franco, Christian Bale, and Nicholas Hoult. Now, does all these actors have have their interesting experiences in the film, whether they're doing supporting roles, whether they're taking the main roles, whether it's a dual role, whether it's potentially a good guy or a bad guy. They all have some good experience and well-rounded acting careers, and that's why I chose these four particular actors for this role. Now, Robert Patton. Let's talk about Nicholas Hoult first, since I got him up on the thing first. Now, Nicholas Hoult, you'll probably notice him. Remember mostly from Mad Max Furious Road as Nux and Beast from the rebooted X-Men series. Now, the reason why I think Nicholas Hoult would do a good job of playing the character is the dude's he's tall, he's young, he does have experience portraying characters from like books and comic books. He played in Warm Bodies. He played in, of course, the X-Men series. So he's had experience playing characters like that. Now, I think it would be an interesting role for him because this is a much darker character than from anything that I've seen him play in. And I want to see if he's able to channel that anger, that rage of the character, and also I think he's a good like physical fit for the character because he's pretty tall, he's pretty lean, so that would make for some pretty creepy and awesome looking makeup effects and stuff for the character. And I think that he does have the ability to dive into the character emotionally, especially for the memory flashback sequences with the girlfriend or whatever, what have you. As far as more like the angry sequences, because I definitely can see him channeling some anger, but I want to see him be able to do like the emotional aspect as a character too, and I think he can, especially like I said, I haven't seen all of his stuff, but I watched him in Equals, and that like emotional death that he had with Kristen Stewart, I thought worked well. Same thing with Warm Bodies; it was a bit of emotional, so I think he can channel that. So that's why I would like to see him play the role. Now, Robert Pattinson, of course, everybody knows this guy from Twilight as Edward the Vampire, which I didn't really mind his performance in the movie. I think it was more of the fact that the movie was poorly written, and the dialogue was poorly written, and the characters are poorly written. There's not just like and really the only person I didn't like as far as acting wise was Taylor Lautner. But anyways, I think Robert Pattinson actually is a pretty good actor. I've seen him in a little bit of roles here and there, some pretty interesting ones, pretty unique ones, considering that he did, playing the Twilight, and it's like a really cool contrast to see like what he played in this, what he's most known for, as to what he has gotten to now. Now, the one movie that I have seen that he played in that I was like, yes, I think he can definitely play this role is Good Time. Good Times is a movie where he ended up playing his brother who was ended up in this robbery, and then everything just pretty much went to hell. His brother went to jail, so the whole time he is trying to get his brother, come up with this money to get his brother out of jail so he can take care of him. Now that move right there gave me just like a lasting impression on the guy, because I think that since then I was like, yes, he can actually hit be a pretty serious character. And I'm not saying like serious like he'll kill somebody, but it's an actual serious, like desperate character. And I think that like that right there, based on that right there, would be good for a good Draven character. I think that he can potentially hit that really really deep, like menacing look, menacing depth of emotion that require to have such a great focus on the character. So Robert Pattinson, and plus, look, I know people don't like him in Twilight, but I think to some extent he does have some decent chemistry. Christian Stewart, at least later on in the films, which is kind of ironic because both of these cats have played in the movie with Christian Stewart in it, but that was not intended. But I think this would be something, and like I said, he's played a decent book character, and I would like to see him play like a straight up badass. Now, I haven't seen again all his movies. I only seen like maybe 4 movies these guys being in, but from what I've seen, especially with Good Time, I think that he can take on this iconic role, and I hope people and this is like him being cast as the Crow is like one of those things I feel like will like break the internet, and it'll be like a whole nother Heath Ledger being the Joker, Ben Affleck being Batman, Tom Hardy playing the Bane. So I think it would do something like that. But I honestly think that this guy has gotten to the level now where he can definitely take on such a badass role. Of course, I have Christian Bale. Christian Bale is a great, fantastic actor, and I think it would be kind of cool to see an older version of Draven, because I think Bale is like in his 40s or something like that. Maybe he's early 50s. I don't know, but I think he's like in his 40s. But the guy has definitely done some really great physical work, especially with Batman. And if you can, and if the person that plays Batman can definitely play the Crow. Now the thing is making that differentiating the two characters, and I think that Christian Bale definitely has, especially with all the different roles and how diverse of an actor this guy has. Just all the things he's been. Now he's definitely played some pretty serious roles. He was in Reign of Fire, there's Fighting Dragons, Equilibrium, and this World Without Emotion, which ironically enough, Nicholas Hoult was playing in a movie where there was like no emotions being expressed. So that's I'm not trying to like get these like where they all like connected type thing, but it seems like now I'm thinking about like yeah. So they both played in the movie Kirsten Stewart. They both played. They both played in a movie where they lived in a world where emotions nobody could have like self expression and stuff like that. So that's interesting. But of course he played in American Psycho. Played in John Connor. So I'm not gonna lie, he's played some pretty interesting roles, and I think Christian Bale definitely has the chops to make a very convincing, deep, and dark, and exceptionally bad as Draven character. Dude's definitely come a long way from some of the things that he has done that weren't so good, but for the most part, dude, awesome in everything he does. Physically, I think he can work the character with regardless, and also if he does play the role, if he would play the role, I would want him to be kind of like Christian Bale's like one of those actors, like every movie he's in is just like badass. So it's kind of hard to see him play like such a vulnerable character and emotional character, but it's not to say that he can't do it. Just so used to see him play these badass roles. It's kind of like watching Tom Cruise, and you're watching all these movies Tom Cruise play, and he's like this complete badass, and it's hard to see him not be a badass in the movie. So, but I think Christian Bale definitely could definitely do that with the character. Now, fourth and final actor, I think James Franco should do it. Now, James Franco, a lot of the movies, the dude is very diverse. He is really diverse. I've mostly seen him start up and Spider-Man and like a whole bunch of like these like retarded comedies where he plays like potheads and stuff like that. But the dude is definitely went from romances to dramas to science fiction to fantasy to comedy. Like this dude has been all over the freaking map. He's done disaster. He is just on top of the game in my opinion. I think he definitely would play a fucking awesome and serious dude. Definitely can just hit emotional. Can be emotional at moments. He could be very serious at moments. I think he able to give that character that self expression of like a vengeance type character. I think he's definitely like the man to do it. Now, um, some of my movies that I've seen him in, of course, Spider Man, Rise of Planet of the Apes, Oz, Great and Powerful, Sausage Party, Green Hornet, which I liked him in Green Hornet because he did play like this kind of cocky villain, and I like to see him play more villains because I think he's good with like a cocky type villain, but actually pretty serious. Now there was a movie where he was a villain that he played with Jason Statham, which I hadn't seen yet. I don't want to say it's called Safe, but I want to see. I just like I said, I didn't want to see him play like darker, really really dark roles, and I'm looking forward to seeing more of his movies. Of all these actors on here, James Franco, it'd be James Franco. It'd be like Nicholas Hoult, Christian Bale, and Robert Pattinson. But James Franco, I'll definitely be trying to keep my eyes open for. The dude's definitely got some talent, and I think he would be a great Eric Draven. Now, guys, in the comment section below, let me know which one of these four actors you think would be a good Eric Draven for the Crow reboot. Also, give me your favorite movies that they played in, their best roles. And if you want to, go ahead and let me know their worst roles as well. Be sure to hit that like, share, subscribe, and that notification button to get the best of what we got going on in this channel.